Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Pat here from Laid Back Languages. If you're new here, click on the subscribe button. I'm a qualified psychotherapist turned polyglot and language coach. So what I do is I combine psychology with language learning to help people who are learning their very first foreign language, and maybe they've got a lot of mental blocks, they feel that they're too old, they'll never remember all these words, all these things and negative programs. I help you to unprogram them and learn foreign languages confidently and fluently. So that sounds good. Click subscribe. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. Good to have you here again. In today's video, my friends, I want to talk about something which is a little bit abstract, so bear with me while I explain this concept to you. I want to talk to you about speaking and then thinking, okay? What do I mean by this? Speak, then think. Well, as a language coach and an avid language learner myself, I've picked up a few things over the years, and what I've realized is a lot of people, even when they start to speak and understand their target language, when they start to understand the questions, they go into thinking mode rather than speaking. Now, we've all been programmed with, you should think before you speak. I'm telling you, language learning, do the opposite, because the point of language learning is to practice and to speak the language fluently. If you're in a session with a coach or a language tutor or speaking to whoever, your goal should be to practice speaking the language as much as possible. So speaking before you think. Now, thinking before you speak will hinder you because, imagine this. Someone has asked you, let's say you're learning Spanish, okay, and they say to you in Spanish, what are you going to do today? Okay, ¿Qué vas a hacer hoy? What are you going to do today? And instead of replying straight away and then thinking, a lot of people will think about it first and they'll go, oh, that's a great question. That's a good question, but what am I doing today? And they'll be thinking these thoughts in their native language, which in my case, and my students' case, is normally English. They'll be thinking these thoughts in English. Oh yeah, what am I going to do today? I don't want to upset anyone here, especially some of my clients who may be watching these videos. But guys, I don't care what you're doing today. Sorry, but I don't. I'm not really interested in your life, what you're doing, how your kids are. I care, of course I care, because I care about you as a person. But in a language classroom, I'm focused on the language, baby. I want you to speak this language fluently. So instead of doing the thinking first, speak first. If I say to you, what are you going to do today? The first thing I want you to say is, today I am going to, and then think. Okay? Then do your thinking. And you'll find that the thoughts come quite naturally after. You don't need to think about an answer first and then say it. Jump right in. ¿Qué vas a hacer hoy? Hoy, today, I am going to, and then think about it. And then you're in a natural state of speaking rather than translating from English into Spanish. This is what you want to do. You want to speak and let the language tumble out. Because maybe you might say, ¿Qué voy a hacer hoy? What am I going to do today? I don't know what I am going to do today. And say this as an organic, truthful thing. You're thinking whilst speaking your target language, rather than thinking first in your native language and then trying to translate that into the target language. It's not about that. So that's one example. What are you going to do today? What else have we got? Another example I've written down is, what's your favourite film? Simple question. Now, what's your favourite film? I don't want you to think about what your favourite film is. I don't care. I don't care what your favourite film is. I'm not interested. What I want you to do is repeat back the language. Yes? Repeat back. My favourite film is and then do your thinking. Chances are you might have a good idea already of what your favourite film is. You don't need to put that much thought into it. And also, I don't care. I'm not bothered. Yeah, I don't mind. I want you to say, my favourite film, well, my favourite film at the moment is da 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 da. And as you do this, you're thinking in your target language. But to think in your target language, you've got to speak in it first. Because otherwise, you'll be in native language mode. And translating from your native language into your target language is very difficult. High-level skill translation or interpreting takes a lot of, obviously you've got to have a top level in the language you're interpreting into in the first place. And it's a skill in and of itself, guys. I'm a terrible translator and interpreter. Why? Because when someone speaks to me in Spanish, I am thinking in Spanish. I am in Spanish brain. I am Spanish Pat. Takes me a while to then translate it back into English. Does that make sense? So don't put this obstacle in your way unnecessarily. The final example I've got down here, just to illustrate this point, although I hope I've illustrated it quite well. If I have, smashed the like button. You know, if you've enjoyed this video, go, well, that's a great point. I'm going to like this video. Helps with the algorithm, so I'm told. So, where would you like to live in the future? It's another question someone might ask you. You're having a conversation with them, tutor, a teacher. Where would you like to live in the future? That is the point of the question. It's the language. So, where would you like to live in the future? The first thing you want to say that needs to come out your mouth. In the future, it's nice to set the scene first. You're speaking about the future. In the future, I would like to live, then think. Please, guys, take this advice. It will help you 1,000-fold with your language learning. You will find yourself speaking the language with a lot more fluency, a lot more confidence as well, because one of the reasons we get nervous and we're a bit, I don't know what to say like this when we're speaking a foreign language, is because we're trying to think in our native language first and then translate into the foreign language. Don't bother. Speak first, think later. Top piece of advice for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button. Comment as well. The comments are really good for me to read, so I get a bit of feedback on where you guys are at. And hit the subscribe button, for goodness sakes, guys. Come on, we're in this together. Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.